Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's Kevin and Darla here. We're welcoming you to our little video. So we're happy to see you again. We wanted to tell you about this last year. It it was a good year for people to really decide and see what's really going on in their life. And I think COVID is a really hard, devastating for many people. But I like to look at the positive things when they come into our life and challenges and problems. So I try to look at the positive part. And when I see that, I see so many goodness things that people saved money by not driving to work. They saved money by not buying work clothes. We learned more things. Little kids know how to Zoom now. Who would have thought? So we've learned things, right? We've learned how to wash our hands again. We've learned how to be with our family again. If you've been sharing workspace at home with your new coworkers that you didn't realize you had, um, life changed. So how did you roll with it? Did you roll with it or did you fight against it the whole time? Um, and if you fought against it the whole time and you can feel stuck and stifled by this, and we're here to help you figure out how to roll with it because a year of transformation is ahead of you if you choose to do that. If you choose to learn how to get rid of this stress, because stress is really hard on your body physically. Lots of different ailments come from anger and stress and pent up, things that just eat at you all the time. And if you've been trying to hold all on to that, then you're not really living. And so we only have this short time here, right? So let's live while we're here. And in order to have a transformation, there's a few simple steps. It's pretty simple as far as what do you have to do. There's a few things that you need to do, but it gets pretty deep and pretty heavy. And that's why we figured out that it's helpful to have a coach to be able to do this. So if you've been feeling stuck and more stressed and more, where am I this year than I was last year or 5 years ago, even, and how come my life hasn't progressed, or how come I still can't lose this weight, or how come I'm still unhealthy, or whatever the thing is, the credit cards keep coming and the bills keep coming and keep having this stress, then it's tough, man. So we're here to help. Um, it's really nice when you figure out what you want to be able to have accountability and a community to be able to bounce things off of and know that you're not alone in this. And we want you to know that ULA life, we've never ever felt alone in our ULA life. And we're certified in the ULA framework to help you be successful and transform or get unstuck. So what are a couple of things that what's a few of the, how do you start? How do you start
Well,
this?
that's a great question, Darla. So that's what a lot of people are at. Like you said, they may have tried to lose weight before, or they have tried to reduce their debt before, but they've never really had a framework of ideas or principles to follow in order to make that happen. And some people have even gotten to the point where they just think, well, that's just the way it is. That's what their parents told them, or that's who I am. I'm just a big boned person, or I just eat the wrong foods and I can't lose weight. And they've unfortunately stifled themselves by doing that. And so, what we did over the last year and a half was we really took these ULA principles of three simple steps. The first thing we did was we looked at where we were. And where we were was we were in debt, we were not healthy, and I'm speaking mainly for myself here on that aspect.
You're so kind.
But I was not eating healthy, I was not exercising like I should have, and I was not doing the things to prolong my life. And if you watched any of our videos last week, you heard me talk about my parents passing away and how that was a sudden realization that I had to take action. And it really spurred me into doing that. It was part of the uh, pendulum swing that happened for me at that time that allowed me to really start taking action and do something about it. But the first step is what we call the ULA wheel. And you look at the 7 areas of your life: fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. And you examine those and you say, where am I in each of these areas? Am I a 5, or am I a 4, or maybe I'm a 10 in one of these areas, but then other areas might be lacking. And so you examine yourself and you decide where you are. And what you have to remember is where you are is not who you are. It's just where you are right then. And you can change and make a difference in your own life and in the lives of others. So that wheel is the first step. The next step is the plan. And what we do in the plan is we're going to help you design a blueprint of what you would like your life to really look like. Can you imagine that? If you had had the opportunity all those years ago to say, this is what I want to do, this is who I want to be. I want to be able to climb a mountain, or I want to be able to run a marathon, or I want to do all these big things that I dreamed of doing when I was a child. And I lost sight of that because somebody told me I couldn't. Nothing is off limits. If you want to do something and you can put that in your plan, we can help you design a plan together that'll be a blueprint for your success. Mm-hmm. Now, after we develop that plan, maybe you've developed plans before. You've made these New Year's resolutions and you've decided, I'm going to walk this much this week and this much next week. And you thought you had a plan, but maybe you didn't accomplish it. Maybe you weren't successful. So what happens when that happens? What's causing those kind of things to happen, Darla?
Right. So a lot of times we'll let fear take over. And we won't do that thing we want to do because we think, well, what will they say if I do that thing? We let fear take over. We let self-sabotage take over. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not smart enough. I have to take care of everybody else, and that my thing doesn't count. Those of you, you know who you are if you think that way, right? So being selfish is not healthy, but being completely not taking care of you and building yourself and letting your light shine is not healthy either. It's not healthy for your family or for the rest of the people around you because they need to see who you are and what you want to do. And it's better for your family if they see your light shine. You have a special gift. You were made for greatness and a purpose. And when we see that laziness or anger or envy, fear and self-sabotage, all of those things, lack of focus, get in your way and stop you from your dream life, then it's really hard. You need some community, you need some coaching, you need to be able to have some tools to be able to get out of that. And one of the tools is love. So if you love yourself enough to give you this gift of your life that you dream of, then that's one way that you can overcome some of these blocks. So sometimes you need to look at your passion and your gratitude and be grateful for where you are and where you've come from, because my life in my past, it was hard. But now I'm grateful for all those experiences that I had because I know now that it's helping me help you and help other people.
That's right.
And so I'm grateful for those things. So we have different accelerators, we call them. One of them is Passion right now. Our car is called Passion. My word of the year is passion because I'm so passionate about getting the word out of ULA to be able to help you get your life. Because we have it and we want you to have it too. Because ULA is sort of like money and sort of like love. in that there's enough to go around. Just because we have ULA Life doesn't mean you can't have your ULA Life, and your friends and your family and everybody can have it. It just multiplies, and there's plenty of ULA Life to go around.
Right.
So, how do I get going? What do I do next after
Okay.
we know where we are and where we want to go?
Right. And you may, as you go through those steps of trying to implement your plan, you may run into these blockers that Darla was talking about, like fear and self-sabotage and envy and anger and those things. And yes, you have to learn how to utilize gratitude to be thankful for what you do have. That's one of the most important lessons that I know I've learned this last year and a half. And you also find that another accelerator, integrity, is one of your most important things and assets that you can have. So last year, my word of the year was integrity. And the reason it was is because I was very, very much full of integrity when I was dealing with other people. But guess who I was lying to all the time? I was telling myself stories that I wasn't good enough, because people had told me that before, that I couldn't do it, I couldn't lose weight. And I was also, when I said I would do something, I wasn't living up to that. So having full integrity with yourself is huge for being successful and actually accomplishing the plans that you set out.
And I think just to get there, you need a coach. You need a community to let you know that you're worth it. You're good at this. You can do this. Because if you just okay, today I'm going to have self-integrity and I'm going to get through this, it's doable, but it's tough. So,
right. Like when we talked about last week, there would be mornings that I didn't want to get up and go walk. But Darla would get up. She was my accountability partner in that. And she would be ready to go. And there were other mornings that, believe it or not, she didn't want to go walk.
The correct question is not, do you want to go for a walk?
Right.
He learned that yes, to say, let's go for a walk. Are you ready to go now, or do you need a few minutes? That's how he would get me to go for a walk. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. Not the question is never, do you want to go for a walk? Because the answer is no.
That may not be what you want to do.
So
and for Darla, that's
that
definitely the case. But she likes to have fun. So I ask it that way, hey, let's go have fun and go for a walk. And she's okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do that. So as you get your plan established and you've got your blueprint for success that you've made, and we help you overcome these blockers by being part of our community and telling us, what is bothering you and working it through with us or with others that you can be supporters and encouragers for you. Then you can really develop a personalized plan to help you succeed and achieve that major goal that has been eluding you all these years. And once you achieve that major goal, like I did last year of losing 25 pounds and getting off of diabetes medication, wow, you feel so good that you know that you can do it again.
That's right.
You can do something else. And so now one of my goals this year is to write a book. And so I'm working on writing a book this year. So those may not be things that you want to do at all. And that's okay. What we're saying is, what do you want to do? What have you always wanted to do since you were a kid or since you were younger that you gave up on and you didn't have to? You can still do it. You still have time to make a change. So let us know in the comments. We can send you the ULA wheel to get you started and let you assess where you're at. And just drop us a comment here and we'll be glad to forward that on to you so that you can use the ULA wheel and really see where you're at. And remember, that's not who you are, that's just where you're at right now. And then help you decide where to go. And we're here to help. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. Join us again tomorrow. And
Be grateful, have faith. Come get your ULA life with us.
that's right. Take care, everyone.